Let's go to the Northern Cape now, where students at the Sol Plaatje University say they're having challenges experiencing those both with accommodation and food. Reginald Witbooi has more for us.
The situation here at the Sol Plaatje University is relatively calm now. We know that earlier on when we came to the university, students were protesting and they were also burning tires, saying that they are not getting food from the university, saying that there's not enough accommodation to accommodate second, third and fourth year students. Only those students, the first year students who applied and who were accepted by this university, they are going to stay on campus, and your second up until your final year students, they must now stay off campus. We also heard from the management earlier on when they addressed these students that they are doing everything in their power to actually pave a way forward to address their concerns. We know at this time the SRC and the management, they are in a meeting to pave a way forward. What is going to happen now in terms of addressing the issues of these students? I am now joined by three students here at the university. So you were telling me that your issues, they are genuine and it's not coming on from today. What are those issues?
Okay, my brother, you've made it clear that we are struggling in terms of accommodation. We are struggling in terms of food as well. In terms of the accommodation, what is wrong with the management of SPU is that this management made a plan last year that those who will be returning will go off campus. But the only problem that they had, they did not have a proper plan so that they can accommodate us. This simply shows that they do not care of our needs. Secondly, yes, last night people did not eat here in cafeteria, and it simply suggests that these people did not care for our needs as students. All they can do is just come here like they did earlier on. They came here and offer simple or baseless ideas that they are meeting. We are not sure of the meeting that is going to be about, but what we know for sure is that they will go there and they will come out with no plan of action from going on. So we are very worried of what they did and we are disappointed on them very much.
Management was also saying earlier on that there's a problem with landlords in terms of the blocking system. What do you know about that?
Hence I'm saying they seated last year and said the returning students must go off campus. How can you come with that directive unless you did not take pre-measures? So what I'm saying is that they should have taken a pre-measures that they make sure that each and every landlord will be able to accommodate for students. They failed to do that. Now they are trying to hide themselves and trying to shy away from the truth. The truth is the management has failed us and they need to take accountability for that. And for that reason, we as the student will say in one voice that if we don't get a proper solution, nothing will remain the same. If we don't get a proper solution, nothing will remain the same. This thing will move it up until we get a proper resolution.
But do you think these issues are it's addressed robustly from the SRC side? Because I spoke to a number of students earlier on. They were saying, and you also mentioned it, that it's not problems coming on from earlier this week or today. These are issues coming on from last year already. Why couldn't SRC and you as students address it back then?
My brother, it's very simple. These people gave us a directive that this year the returning students will go off campus. So what I'm saying is that as the SRC, they tried their level best so that we get accommodated. The worst part, they said you should come here so that you can book for your accommodation. Students came from their different homes, and when they arrived here, they have been prevented to receive meals. Now that we have striked, they are able to provide meals. What is it that has changed? It simply suggests that these people are taking us as poor children, or they are taking us as useless people. So we are here to say enough is enough. Simple.
Sir, you heard what what he said about the issues, accommodation and also food. Management promised you earlier on that you are going to get food. I see that you have food now. Tell us, you came to the Sol Plaatje University, traveled hundreds of kilometers to register this week with no accommodation. What did you do? You had no accommodation, you had no food.
Yes, I came here without having any accommodation. I was not accommodated, but the SRC made a plan to see where I will be accommodated. The issue of food, it just started lately. And the SRC has been trying their level best to send the emails, and the management is just turning the blind eye on them. They did not give them a proper response. So, yeah.
From your side, do you think that meeting between the SRC and management will be fruitful and will be desirable for you as students?
Yes, most definitely. Now that we've deployed our very own SRC members, people that we have entrusted, the reason why we voted for these people is because we trust in them, we believe in their leadership skill. So us sending them there, it simply means that it's a way forward for us to fight the management in a proper manner. Yeah, our representatives, we are all represented that side, so everything will run smoothly, I think.
But my concern is with the accommodation one, because most of the issues that were raised there, it was based on the issues were only looking at the students that have funding. My concern is that what about those that they came without funding, particularly the returning students, because they don't have accommodation and they are struggling. That issue, it needs to be raised. It's a very serious issue, because now you don't have accommodation, you don't have funding. What about you? You are just a returning student and applying for, let's say, for funding. If you are from a disadvantaged background, applying for, like, application on its own, it's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing to such an extent that most of the people that are coming from there, they don't even know how to use maybe a cell phone. The links are giving them problems. It's just something that is nonsensical, which needs the institution to interfere and give people a proper knowledge or skill to work with that.
Thank you so much, Nzinga. Those are students here at the Sol Plaatje University raising their concerns about accommodation and also food, the fact that some of the students are unable to register for the 2023 academic year because of funding. We also know that about 27,000 matriculants applied to the Sol Plaatje University, but unfortunately only 1,600 first-year students can be accommodated for this academic year. We know that next week the university will open its doors for this academic year, but the students are saying that they are not going to rest until their issues are being resolved and addressed robustly by the Sol Plaatje management, Sol Plaatje University management. We also heard from the management earlier on that they are going to release a statement about this situation after that meeting with the SRC.
Reginald Witbooi following that story and will keep us updated.